If you own a home in Forster Ranch and you've been wondering what it's worth right now, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening in our neighborhood, and I'm going to use real data pulled directly from CRMLS. It's not going to be a Zillow estimate. It's not going to be a guess. These are actual sold comps and current market activity as of April 2026. My name's Amber Gorbett. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I specifically farm Forster Ranch. I know this neighborhood, I track it every week, and I'm going to break down the numbers in a way that actually makes sense. So let's get into it. Let's start with what's currently on the market. Right now, we have 7 active listings in Forster Ranch. That's not a lot, and the price ranges go from $1.199 million on the low end. That's a 3-bedroom condo on Felipe, all the way up to $7.9 million for a custom estate on Portillo del Norte. For most of you watching, you're probably in that $1.5 to $2.75 million range, which is where the bulk of the inventory lives. You've got a 3-bed on Sangre de Toro at $1.775 million, a 4-bed on Villa Tulipan, just listed at $1.998 million, a 4-bed on Carta de Plata at $2.499 million, and a 5-bed on Canto Rompealas at $2.75 million. One thing worth noting, that home on Manera Ventosa has been sitting at $2.199 million for 71 days, and that's a signal. It tells you that buyers are paying attention to pricing, and anything that comes in stretched is going to sit. I'll come back to what that means for you in a minute. So what's an escrow? Now let's look at what's actually moving. There are currently 4 homes in escrow in Forster Ranch. A 3-bed on Villa Tulipan went under contract in 14 days at $1.6 million. A 4-bed on Calle Sin Rival went in 21 days at $1.85 million. A 4-bed on Camino Oleada, that one took 61 days, which tells me there was some negotiation happening there. And a 5-bed on Colina Puesta went under contract in just 6 days at $2.799 million. 6 days. So price right homes are absolutely still moving. The market is not dead. It's just a lot more discerning than it was in 2021 or 2022. What has actually sold? This is a section I think matters most if you're thinking about selling, because this is what buyers are actually paying. I pulled 26 recent sales in Forster Ranch going back 6 months. Here are the numbers. Prices range from $1.15 million to $2.9 million. The average sold price was $1.865 million. The median was $1.799. Average days on the market was 29 days, and average price per square foot came in at $776. Now, let me show you what that looks like with real examples. A 3-bedroom, 1,470 square foot home on Giraldo sold for $1.15 million in 6 days, and that's one of the smaller homes in the neighborhood. That was also my sale. Huge negotiations on bringing the price down. A 4-bedroom on Cadena, 1,480 square feet, sold for $1.455 million, but that one took 67 days. Why? Probably overpriced out of the gate. A 5-bedroom on Canto Rompealas, 3,898 square feet, big house, sold for $2.9 million in 44 days. That's the high end of what's been traded recently. And here's what I really want you to notice. The homes that went quickly, 7, 8, 9 days, those were priced with the market. A 5-bed on Vista Prado sold in 7 days at $2.55 million. A 4-bed on Colina Rodante sold in 8 days at $2.31 million. A 4-bed on Villa Iris sold in 8 days at $2.145 million. The pattern is clear. Price it right, it moves fast. Push the price, it's going to sit. So what does this mean for your home's value, especially in Forster Ranch right now? If you have a 3-bedroom home, you're probably in at the 1.15 to 1.65 million range, depending on the size, the condition, and the upgrades. If you have a 4-bedroom, you're likely somewhere between 1.6 and 2.3 million. 5 bedrooms with the right features are trading between 1.8 and 2.9 million. But here's the thing, as I say this, I say this as someone who tracks this neighborhood every single week. Those ranges are only a starting point. The difference between a home that sells for 1.6 million and one that sells for 1.85 million can come down to the kitchen, the primary bathroom, view from the backyard, whether the floors have been updated, etc. Two homes on the same street with the same floor plan can sell for wildly different prices. At $776 per square foot on average, a 2,000 square foot home in Forster Ranch is worth roughly $1.55 million. A 3,000 square foot home is closer to $2.33 million. But again, condition and presentation move that number significantly in either direction. The 71-day listing on Moneta Ventosa that I mentioned at the top, that's a 5-bedroom sitting at $2.199 million. The market is telling that seller something, and that's the information you need to think about when you're doing your own pricing strategy. So if you own a home in Forster Ranch and you want to know specifically what your home is worth, not a zip code average, not a range, your actual home, I do complimentary equity reviews with no obligation. I pull comps, I walk you through each of them, and I give you a real number based on your specific property. DM me on Instagram. My handle's Amber G Sells OC, or drop a comment below and I'll reach out. I also post a Forster Ranch market update every Wednesday, so subscribe if you want to stay current on what's happening in our neighborhood. Again, I'm Amber Gorbett with Coldwell Banker Realty. Thanks for watching.